Hello, readers. Today we are on lesson 4 of our Reading Mastery book, The Lion on It. So you're going to need that book today. You're going to need your packet with the geese on it. The front looks like this. And that is it, and a pencil. Okay, so I'm going to quickly find lesson 4 in my teacher book, and we can get started. So I hope you're enjoying the story so far. I like how much justice that Henry is showing Tim. Okay, here we go. Let's find column 1. Ready to find column 1 in your text. The first word says route. What word? Route. Word 2 says receive. What word? Word 3 says unfrozen. What word? Word 4 says above. What word? Word 5 says equator. What word? Word 6 says anymore. What word? Let's read those words again the fast way. So I'm going to say it, and then you're going to say it really fast after me. Okay, are you ready? Here we go. Route, receive, unfrozen, above, equator, anymore. Good. All right, let's find column 2. Word 1 says circles. What word? Word 2 says glided. What word? Word 3 says barns. What word? Word 4 says training. What word? Word 5 says dived. What word? Okay, let's do it the fast way. I'm going to say it, and then you're going to say it really fast. Here we go. Circles, glided, barns, training, dived. Nice job. Okay, I'm going to pick our secret word today. Okay, so our word is a noun. It has 3 syllables. It's in column 1. Which one is it? Equator. Very good. Unfrozen also has 3 syllables. And anymore also has 3 syllables, but those aren't nouns. Okay, so here's what we're going to do today, scholars. I'm going to read the facts about the earth. I'm going to ask you a few questions. You're going to answer them in your head or out loud at home. And then I'm going to do the reading. We'll go over that once we get there too, okay? So first we're going to read. Everyone find part B in the textbook. Everybody touch the title. Everybody, what's the title? Facts about the earth. Here we go. Some places on the earth are colder and some places are hotter. Here's some facts you need to know about the earth. The earth is shaped like a ball. It doesn't look that way because error. Here we go. I'm going to start at the beginning of that paragraph. It doesn't look like it's that shape because the earth is very large. Pictures of the earth that are taken from a spaceship show that the earth is shaped like a ball. Picture 1 shows the earth. This picture was taken from a spaceship that was near the moon. You can see the blue parts and the white parts on the earth. The blue parts are water. The white parts are clouds. Let's keep reading. The hottest part of the earth is called the equator. You can see the equator in picture 2. So in picture 2, you can see the North Pole, the South Pole, and then right in the middle of it, there's the equator. Let's keep reading. The equator is a pretend line that goes around the fattest part of the earth. So that's the hottest part of the earth. Okay, now let's learn about the coldest part of the earth, okay? The coldest parts of the earth are called the poles. You can see 2 poles in picture 2. The pole on top is called the North Pole. The pole on the bottom is called the South Pole. What are the coldest parts of the earth called? Poles. Very good. And the one on the bottom of the earth is called the South Pole, and then the pole on the top is called the North Pole. Let's keep reading. The farther you go from the equator, the colder it gets. So I have a question, scholars. Is Minnesota close to the equator or far away from the equator? Far away from the equator, and that's why it gets so cold here in the wintertime. Let's keep reading. The poles are the parts of the earth that are farthest from the equator. Very good. That is why the poles are the coldest spots on earth, because they're the farthest away from the equator. If you wanted to live where it never got cold and never snowed in the wintertime, would you want to live near the equator or far away from the equator? Near the equator. Very good. Okay, find part C in your textbook. The error limit for this reading is 9 errors. Now, let me tell you, Mrs. Halverson is proving to be very rusty on reading out loud. So this might be the day that I have to reread. So make sure that you're watching out for my errors, because sometimes I don't even catch them. And if I have more than 9, you have to comment in the comments below, and then I will have to reread it. Okay? So here we go. I'm going to read it, right? And then after I read it, your job is to read it out loud, either to a parent, a sibling, a pet, a stuffed animal, or to yourself, but you need to read it again out loud. Okay? Here we go. Everybody touch the title. Everybody, what's the title? Tim has a flying lesson. The morning was cold and still. Ice had formed all around the shore of the lake. Tim said, "Wow, it's really cold this morning." "Yes," old Henry said. "And if you're going to get on your way to Florida before it gets even colder, we better start on your training today." What was the weather like? It was very cold. Did Henry think it was going to get colder? What are they training for? I don't get it. What are they training for? That's right. Tim had to learn how to fly. So that's what they were training. Okay, let's keep reading. So Henry explained what Tim had to do. He had to run with his wings held straight out to the sides. Then Henry would honk. The honk told Tim to start flapping his wings. "I'll bet you can do it the first time we try," Henry said. What was the first thing Tim was supposed to do with his wings? That's right, hold them straight out to the sides. What was Tim supposed to do when Henry honked? Start flapping, that's right. Then what was supposed to happen? Then he would just be flying, right? All right, let's see what happens. Let's keep reading. Henry, error 1. Henry and Tim went to a hill near the lake. Henry said, "Just run down the hill as fast as you can. Remember to keep those wings out to the side." Then Henry took off and circled above Tim. "Go," Henry said, and Tim went, running as fast as he could. Henry honked, and Tim started flapping his wings. "That's it," Henry honked. "Keep flapping." Tim took off, but as soon as he did, he became frightened and stopped flapping. Plop! He fell back down to the ground and tumbled over and over. Henry landed next to him and laughed. "Well," Henry said, "at least you got into the air. Now all you have to do is learn how to stay up there. You have to keep flapping after you take off." Tim said, "But I got scared." Henry said, "Well, just remember, geese are made for flying. It's nothing to be scared about. I'll fly in front of you. Just keep looking at me and do what I do." So they tried again. This time Henry made sure that he was right in front of Tim when he took off. Henry honked and honked. "Keep flapping and look at me." The two geese flew all the way across the lake and over the hill on the other side. Henry looked around to look at Tim. He didn't look scared anymore. He had a big smile on his face. He honked, "This is great. I love it." "Well, just keep doing what I do," Henry said. Henry led Tim up higher and higher, more than a mile high. Then Henry held his wings out to the side and glided. Tim followed. The birds turned and swooped and dived and climbed. At last Henry said, "Now we're going to land. We'll go in the water. Remember to do what I do." Henry came down and made a perfect landing in the water. Tim also made a landing, but it was not perfect. He was going too fast, and he landed with a great splash. Both geese laughed. Tim shouted, "I can fly!" "You sure can," Henry said. How high did Henry and Tim go? I have to look back. I don't remember. How high did they go? Over a mile high. Very good. Where did they land? They landed on the lake. That's right. Who made a perfect landing? Henry. Because remember, Henry had a lot of practice. He's 35, so he's been flying since he was 1, so he has a lot of practice. And then, why wasn't Tim's landing perfect? What was he doing wrong? That's right, he was going too fast and he flopped right into the lake. Was Tim pretty happy though? Yeah, he was really proud of himself for flying for the very first time. I feel like I would be really proud of myself too. All right, scholars, let's turn our packets to lesson 4. Yay, personality traits. So in writing, we have been talking about identities. Parts of your identity can also be personality traits, right? Because if you have certain identities, you act a certain way. So they kind of go hand in hand, but they are different, okay? So let me get my book to write on. Let's read the directions. It says, lesson 4. Characters have physical traits and personality traits. A physical trait is features about your body. The first thing you see when you look at someone could be their hair, clothes, nose, or figure. A personality trait is a trait about someone's personality. You cannot tell just by looking at someone what their personality traits are. Personality traits are things like kindness, justice, wisdom, prudence, temperance, and more. So the virtues and even more. In the table below, please list 3 personality traits and 3 physical traits about the geese in the story. Okay, so you can use the same traits for both geese. Okay, I'm not going to give you all 3, but I'm going to do these little bullet points so I can keep my work nice and neat. I have to write really small, but I'm going to use my fortitude and try my best. Okay, so I wrote really small little bullet points so I can make sure that that I get them all in. Okay, so Old Henry. Let's talk about his personality. So in the beginning of the book, he wasn't too happy, was he? There's a lot of words that the author has used to describe his personality traits. Okay, so I'm going to say one of his personality traits is lonely. Okay, lonely. Now, be careful, because the other thing that we use to describe Henry is a physical trait. So if you look here, if you even just look at his name, it says Old Henry, doesn't it? Old. That's one of his physical traits. So you can look at someone right away and see that they're old. You could say one of Miss Halverson's physical traits is old, blonde, blue eyes, actually, what you're wearing is not a physical trait, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, so Tim's personality traits, he's young. Oh, that would be a physical trait, wouldn't it? So I'm going to put young over here for Tim. Under physical trait, right? Because we put old for Old Henry. Might as well put young for Tim. Okay, but his personality, he's young, he's kind of excited, right? He was really excited when he, actually that's more of a feeling. Never mind, excited isn't a good one. What is he like? Is he kind? He's young. I know. What I'm going to put that he's teachable. Teachable means that he can learn from Old Henry. his teacher and learn how to fly from him. Okay, other personality traits would include things like the virtues. There are some listed here. I'm going to underline those as good examples. So if you get stuck on personality traits, you can ask yourself, do these geese have those virtues? Do they not? Maybe it would fit one goose but not the other. Something to think about. Okay. Let's look at number 2 now, part 2. I want you to fill in the rest of these by yourself. But let's look at number 2 quick. Looking at the personality traits of the 2 geese, which goose would you rather have as a friend? Why? Give 2 examples. Go ahead and think about it. I know who I want as my friend, so I'm going to write. But I'm going to make sure that I read this rubric first. It says, part of the question is in my answer so that it makes sense to my readers. Okay, I'll make sure to do that. All of the questions are answered. Okay. 3 personality traits and 3 physical traits for Tim and Henry. That's up here. I haven't finished that yet. A thoughtful text-to-self or text-to-text connection. 2 examples are given. Okay, so that'll be in this part. Capitalization and proper punctuation. Okay, that's an easy point. Here we go. Looking at the personality traits of the 2 geese, which goose would you rather have as a friend? I would rather have old Henry as a friend because he is wise. That's one example, right? He's wise, he's older, he could teach me things. He is wise, so he could teach me things. And he is kind, so he would help me. We already know that he's a kind goose because he's taking time out of his day, even though he's really lonely, he's feeling really down about himself. He's still taking time to teach this young goose, Tim, how to fly. So I know that he is really kind. Look at this. This is a great answer. It has lots of the same words as the question in it, and I took up the whole space. So we know that's a pretty good answer. So I'm pretty proud of that. All right, so do not write the same thing as me. I will know if you write the same thing as me. If you were thinking the exact same thing as me, try to think of at least one other reason why you would want old Henry as your friend, okay? And then, of course, you can choose young Tim. You can choose Tim to be your friend too, but you need to give 2 reasons why, okay? Awesome. I will see you in reading next week. Have an awesome day, scholars. Bye.